Now, one of your chapters is about feeling a bit of you bite off more than you chew. Because I know I felt this way myself a few times. So, give us a couple of tips about when that chapter, when you feel like overwhelmed. Oh, geez, I got a great idea, but this is more than I thought it was going to be. How do you bring yourself back and start taking a smaller steps so you can kind of comprehend it better? So what's your advice to listeners when you feel like you took on too much too soon?
Well, and it happens to everybody, so we've all been there, and it continues to happen even as you build your success. You get more ambitious and take on more things.
Yeah.
So one of the two things that I find, one is you have to have someone that you can reach out to that's been through it, that you can talk to, and that's what happens in the book. The one character reaches out to his mentor that already knows how to do a lot of this stuff and kind of gives some insight. And the other piece that you can do that I find really works well for me is I use my Google Calendar, and I will schedule activities. So if I've overloaded my stuff with too many commitments, I say to myself, okay, now if I spend 90 minutes and I schedule that activity for 11 o'clock till 12:30, and then I'll have to schedule my break. Then I'll schedule another activity to deal with another situation or another commitment that I'm working on. And what that does is it breaks up your whole plan of all your commitments into sections, and then you can kind of nibble away at each one. So sometimes you might say, okay, I got 5 commitments. I'm going to work on 3 of them today. I'm going to schedule a couple of more for tomorrow, and then I'm going to put those other 3 on my schedule again on the 3rd day. And you just kind of start systematically nibbling at those and taking small steps toward getting that finished. And you start to feel less overwhelmed because now you see a clear picture of, okay, I got all this stuff going on, and instead of it being spaghetti and chaotic, now I got it systematically planned out.
Very good. Hey, WT, because I said you break it down real nice, you got a nice little calendar and everything put together real nice for you. What are some signs that you should just take a break for a week, or just shut it down for a little bit? I mean, when you do too much work, when you kind of overdone yourself, there's some signs. Is a point where even burnout. I mean, what's the signs of burnout where you say, okay, I got to step back, I got to sit there and just don't do anything for a week? Can you kind of help us understand when it's too much and we should stop right then?
Yeah. So when you first start, you're full of motivation, ambition, you're excited about the journey. You can see the big picture, what it's going to look like when it's finished. When you're getting overwhelmed and everything is getting too hard, you're super stressed, so you're not enjoying what you're doing anymore. When the moment that you notice that you're not enjoying and having fun building your business, that it's not exciting for you, it's more of a burden, that's when you got to step back. You got to reevaluate what it is that's stressing you out and try to address that, because my number one belief is if you're not having fun building your business, you're doing something wrong. It should be fun. It's going to be hard, but it should still be fun and exciting, and you should wake up excited that you get another day to work on building your dream. So if you don't have that anymore, that's the time to step back and get yourself realigned with why you're doing it, and get yourself realigned with that feeling of that vision, the picture of what it's going to be like once you've achieved it, once you've pushed through some of these hurdles. And a lot of times it's a matter of you're trying to do too much yourself. You're being a solopreneur.
Yeah. An
entrepreneur just means you make the final decisions, but sometimes you got to hire people to do things, and you just monitor them to make sure they're doing the things that you're expecting to get done.
Outstanding. Hey, our special guest right now is W.T. Hamilton, The Harsh Truth. And the harsh truth, and you mentioned dreams. You put your dreams together, you kind of vision and stuff like that, you have dreams. But sometimes the harsh truth, like you said, may destroy them. So how do we start and enjoy our dreams, enjoy what we're doing, but I think you've hit it most of the time. You get yourself you hire your team. Don't try to do it all yourself. Go to a mentor, so that's great too. Is there anything else you can share with us that to help? Because it's probably important to have somebody as a mentor that's been there trying to have the same vision as you? Where do you go? Do you go to SBA? Do you go to small council like that? Or are there other groups out there that you can steer us to help us with our dreams of becoming an entrepreneur without the pitfalls of being an entrepreneur?
So there's two things. One, you have to get out of your comfort zone and go to actual small entrepreneur meetups and talk to people and get to know who does what. They don't have to even have the same business that you're into. They just have to know how to build business, and you want to try to find someone that's a little bit higher than you and somebody that's kind of on the same level as you, so that you have those two different perspectives that you can tap into. But the other part of it is also, you got to understand, you're building a business and you've never built this business before. Even though other people have built their businesses, for you it's brand new. And it's just like anything else that you learn when it's brand new, it's going to be hard at first. So once you accept, and that's part of in the beginning of the book, is that you got to accept that there's going to be a struggle. That's part of the price of success. And once you accept that and you start to learn how to work with it instead of against it, things start to build the momentum, and things get a lot easier, a lot faster, because you're not fighting against the struggle. You're understanding, okay, this is just part of building the business.
Our special guest, W.T. Hamilton, his book, The Heart's Truth. Okay, I'm going to bring you back to the book and marketing and stuff like that now, because you've written a great book. I think it's a great concept, great idea. Now, how is WT getting the word out? How are you marketing your book? So show us, because we get a lot of authors in there who love writing, love putting the book down, love putting it on paper, but they don't have a clue how to market it. They don't have an idea about it. They're petrified of public speaking. How are you doing it? How are you getting the word out there and moving your book, sir?
So there's many different ways. So what I found was, it's probably the hardest thing to do, because it's a sales thing, right? And you have to be the cheerleader of your own work. And that's hard for people to do. So you have to get into that mindset that you're not just the author, you're the promoter, you're the cheerleader, you're the spokesman for your product, for your service, for your book. Then you have to do blogs, which is pretty easy for writers to do. You also have to do some videos. You got to get out on social media. I do public speaking, so I look for a lot of opportunities to do public speaking. And then something I discovered that I wasn't doing properly was trying to get on podcasts and just hitting different markets and different audiences in different parts of the country. And so one of my big focuses was to do more podcasts, to try to really engage with that medium, because I think it's a really awesome way to explain to people what you're doing and to get people engaged and excited about what you're doing. But you have to be comfortable with hearing your own voice, and you have to be confident in what you're saying. You got to believe in yourself, and that's really hard.
Yes.
But the truth is, if you don't believe in yourself, why is anybody else going to believe in you? You got to believe in yourself.
Well said. Yeah, those are great tips. Awesome tips. And I said, podcast is not going to go away. And you're right. I mean, you might as well get on the podcast tour. Just put them out there. Just kind of get your niche of podcast you want to do, and boom. And again, we thank you for sharing with us. So our listeners really much appreciate that, because you gave us some great tips and stuff. And so, I love the concept of the Heart's Truth and the chapters, because we all do it. We go to the chapter that means the most to us at the moment. We knock it out, put it down maybe, and come back to it later on in the other chapters. So very good, very smart thing. Who helped you create the cover of your book? Who helped you create the cover? Was it you, or you get some help with that? I think a cover's cool too.
No, so what I learned is that you know what your lane is, you do your lane, and you hire people to do the other part. So I hired a graphic artist to do the cover, and he did an awesome job. I was really impressed.